You may need to know that the Jumbo Major house of the oil-rich Bonny Kingdom is one of the wealthiest houses in Bonny Kingdom. In a bid to spearhead the management of the resources in the Jumbo Major house, which comes from multinationals, ground rents, and monies that are gotten from other tenants of the Jumbo Major house, there has been a leadership tussle that has lasted for quite a long time. Today, we'll be talking about the issues surrounding the Jumbo Major house, and we have an elder statesman and a stakeholder in the house to do justice to this topic. If you're new to our station, do well to hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, do an email to us, tell us how we can be of service to you, and we'll be here to serve you. My name again is Moses Variable. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Thank you for joining us, madam.
Thank you
All right.
for having me.
I am Warisen Godwin Jumbo.
Yes.
I am the second serving secretary of the Jumbo Major House Caretaker Committee.
Okay.
And I've been in the center of the entire crisis that has with the house for a long time now.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right, madam, can we have a brief background of what you know about the Jumbo Major House leadership tussle and what you think is the crux of the matter?
Okay. Thank you once again for having me.
Yeah.
My name is N.5Billion Jumbo.
Okay.
I am a full-fledged Jumbo Major House stakeholder. I know to a certain extent what is going on in the house, and I must tell you, it is not palatable. The issues are things we can walk around if people will tell themselves the truth. If people will do what is right, then all these will be things of the past.
Wow. Wow, remarkable. All right, so we've heard of this leadership tussle that has lasted for quite some time, but recently the litigations that has been going back and front has been tremendously outnumbering, right? And I'd like you to tell us how many factions do we have in the Jumbo Major House as it is?
Talking about factions, you know you cannot build something on nothing.
Okay.
So issue of faction should not arise because there is a legitimate caretaker committee mandated, and the authority stems from the annual general meeting of Jumbo Major House. That is the highest organ making, the masses, the power the masses have. The masses, yes, the powers that comes from the masses. There's a caretaker committee that was formed by the masses, and the leadership of this caretaker committee is the authentic leadership. It has even been proven and tested in the court. So any other person that is coming from anywhere to say they are of a faction, it's just nullity. It's not what it should be.
All right. I know that when you have a congress, there usually would be minutes to congresses, right?
Yes.
And you said there was a congress that legitimately elected the caretaker committee chairman, which you recognize, right?
Yes,
which I'm going to
please.
go to. Do you have a minute to this effect?
Yes, there is. I do not have it as I'm seated right here. But if you want a copy of it, you can surely get it.
Wow, remarkable. All right, what is Senator? I'd like you to tell us a little about what the crux of the matter is. What do you know about the leadership tussle of the Jumbo Major House?
If you ask me, I will say, well, if you ask me, I will say there is leadership tussle, but that's not how it should be, because there is an established institution, and we are working in accordance with the Jumbo Major House Constitution and Regulations of 1971, which we have, in accordance with the Constitution, we have instituted a caretaker committee. Precisely on the 6th of September 2014, there was a plenary meeting at the family house in Bonny, where the immediate past chief was deposed by the masses in accordance with the Constitution. And thereafter, a caretaker committee was duly constituted. The minutes are there to speak for themselves. The caretaker committee was constituted with Chief Prosecutor Jasper Jumbo as the head of the caretaker committee. And along the line, some persons who were also part of the caretaker committee, who were working with Chief Jasper, I think out of overzealousness, decided to parade themselves, decided to, peddle illegality, going to constitute themselves. I think it has been tested in court. It has been tested in Justice Umireji's court, who upheld that Chief Jasper Jumbo is the only legitimate person to manage the day-to-day activities of the house as well as the resources thereof. So any other person coming from wherever, I think that's illegality. And the judiciary has proven, they have gone to court of appeal, they have also lost. We're expecting that if they feel dissatisfied, they should go to the Supreme Court rather than going to cook up unnecessary kangaroo arrangements that all that is only wasting the good time of the people. And I think because we stand by justice, I want to commend our people that we are law abiding. Otherwise, if it were to be some other communities, we will be hearing cases of violence. But we have maintained our cool and have been following due process of the law. So I think there is a legitimate government of the house, pending when we have a conventional chief.
All right. So you talked about the fact that the contention has been taken to court, right?
Yes,
Has been
yes.
taken to the federal high court and also moved to the
Yeah, a court of appeal.
appeal
Yes,
court.
yes.
All right. So if these issues has been handled in the federal high court like you claim, today you also are aware of the litigation and the court case that is in court today, where Professor Jasper Jumbo has also been sued to
No,
court.
that's a misnomer.
Okay.
The situation was just look, something happened. Some persons illegally, conspired with themselves to access Jumbo House money fraudulently, up to the tune of 1.4 billion naira. And some stakeholders in the house discovered this fraud and petitioned to the Inspector General of Police precisely on the 27th, on the 17th of January 2019, to rather the police, rather than doing proper investigation of a matter that was brought to the police. I think because there was a gang up from the palace of the Bonny monarch and some dissident persons within the Jumbo house conspired with the police to cook up to cook up frivolous charges against Chief Jasper.
So are you saying that the charges against Chief Jasper, where one of the charges says that he's himself and some other persons used a company name to defraud the Jumbo Major House 0.4
Jasper
billion
did
naira?
not defraud Jumbo Major House.
Okay.
He is legally authorized to assess and manage the resources of Jumbo Major House.
All right. So because I want to get clarifications on this because we're talking about the issues that is in
And
court.
even before he has assessed the said money, he had the mandate of stakeholders of the house, the various organs that constitute the house, the youths, the women, the elders, and all that. He had their mandate. They are all documented. They are there. The people are only trying to sweep the truth under the carpet and do illegality.
All right. So, madam, let me hear from you
Okay.
concerning the court case we have right now against Chief Jasper Jumbo and one other person.
Yeah.
The Inspector General sued Jasper Jumbo, saying that he defrauded the Jumbo Major House of 0.4 billion naira, right? Now, I'd like you to tell us what you think about this, right? Has the Inspector General taken an action that should rightly be done that you think will bring about peace in the leadership tussle we have in the Jumbo Major House?
Concerning that issue, concerning the case right now in court, alleging that Professor Jasper defrauded the house, so to say, that is not true, whichever way you want to look at it. Because the money he assessed, and they are now looking at Professor Jasper. Remember, he is not working as Professor Jasper. He is doing what he's doing as the head of the legitimately elected caretaker committee of Jumbo Major House. So he's not doing it as a person. He's the head of the caretaker committee. And it is based on that mandate. And then there was even an authority from the court that authorized him to access that fund to 300 and something million naira that he accessed. And then he also used it. The court did not just say access. There were also laid down purposes for the funds. He was given the right to access the funds and how the funds will be applied. And he did exactly just that. He did not just do it as a person, just like my brother here rightly said. The members, the arms, the organs of the house, the women, the youth, the elders were all part of this. Even the women took part in procuring some of the items that were used because there was a mass empowerment of Jumbo Major House people. There were health programs organized. Even in the heat of that pandemic, we are all in this country. We know what happened in 2020 when the pandemic struck and a lot of people needed help from here and there. Organizations, multinationals did what they could. Even Jumbo Major House, under the leadership of Professor Japta, provided palliatives. And it was also from that same money he accessed. Now, these people that took him to court and then this police that is bringing up these charges, the case was taken to them initially. Instead of them to investigate correctly the way it is supposed to be, they are now going round in circles. Probably there's something some people somewhere are trying to hide. But in the end, the truth will come to limelight.
All right, so the police you're talking about is not a member of the Jumbo Major House.
Of course, the
And
police is
obviously,
not.
the police would have been fed with some information that is leading to this investigation and suits, right?
Definitely.
Now, can we find out who are the people behind this information? Who is the antagonist you think, in your thinking, to the Jumbo Major House?
Remember that Jumbo Major House is a landlord of the multinational,
Okay.
and it is not it is public knowledge that these multinationals, they operate this divide and rule tactics. So we cannot rule that out.
Okay.
They might be part of the people instigating some part, just like they say it is a rat in the house that tells the one outside that, come, there's something here for us. And then the outsider cannot infiltrate without a help of an insider. So these people, outsiders, are doing this, but with the help of Jumbo Major House persons who have allowed themselves to be used.
Okay, so as it is, we do not know any particular person in the Jumbo Major House who is saying that Chief Jasper Jumbo is not a legitimate committee chairman of the Jumbo Major House.
Based on the suits in court, there are persons. This fraud case you're talking about, it is the Inspector General of Police, so there's no individual name on it. But there are other cases that have people's names on it. Jumbo Major House people.
All right, so let's delve a little towards the area of one of the charges against Chief Jasper Jumbo. He was said that his professorship is not legitimate, right? What do you have to say about that? What is anymore?
There has been so many responses to that. Investigations have been made. Consultations have been made. The school that conferred him, the institution that conferred him with that professorship, they are there. If anybody is doubting, even there are documented evidences from the school. If anyone wants verification, they should do the proper thing. They should do the proper thing. So the records are out there. The records speak for themselves. No, there's no two ways. People are only trying to, negate due process. What they are trying to do, I think, is a gang up by these dissident persons within the house, in conjunction with some outsiders, to deprive Jumbo Major House of the desired peace, unity, and growth. We have so much, but we own nothing. You understand? Now, these same persons that are constituting themselves, trying to, force themselves to be leaders in the house, these same persons have been destooled. They have no locus as far as the Jumbo Major House hierarchy is concerned. The immediate past chief, Chief Horace Oko Jumbo, destooled them officially, made it official, and even took them to court, nearly jailed them, if not for Jasper. The records are there. You understand? So there is no two ways. We have a legitimate government of the house for now. What we should do is to withdraw all cases, all litigations, set up a committee that will be within the same caretaker committee. There is a caretaker committee. Allow the caretaker committee to organize a befitting funeral for the late chief, and subsequently constitute another cabinet.
All right, so
okay.
On a closing note, I'd like us to look at it from this perspective. You've been talking about caretaker committee. Committee. How long has the caretaker committee been in office, and what does it take to constitute a legitimate and a chief for the Jumbo Major House?
Yes, what it takes to elect a substantive chief is for the elders to come together.
So why is that not being
make
done?
Nominations? Because these dissident persons have not allowed the needful to be done. We cannot be in court and begin to settle this issue. All matters in court will be withdrawn. Then we'll come back home and begin to drop a blueprint how to make a new chief. The normal process is for the elders to constitute themselves into a council and make nominations. Elect a new chief, install a new chief, and we move the house forward. But for now, they should allow the caretaker committee to do the needful.
And let me also add that the tenure of this caretaker was close to its end.
Okay.
Which
is how long, please?
Like 4 or 5 months left, if I'm not mistaken. About that was what was left for their tenure to run out before this thing started. So you see, they are shooting themselves in the foot. If they had allowed the tenure to run out naturally, what would have followed would not be this. But because they truncated that with these litigations, even when these things end, when these litigations end, I am foreseeing that this tenure will have to run its lifespan out before any other thing can happen.
Wow, wow. We'll leave that for the court to decide, right? With this. Tell us what you think should be the final move. What you think should be the best strategy for the Jumbo Major House members to take to bring about peace in Jumbo Major House.
Yes, for peace to reign in Jumbo Major House and of course progress.
Yes,
When
your
there's
volume,
peace,
please.
there's
Yeah.
progress. I think all parties should shield their swords. As far as I know, Jasper nor the caretaker committee has not taken anybody to court. They have been taking Jasper and the caretaker committee to court. They are the what I call claimants, whatever. They should go and withdraw all the case. Then we sit down as brothers. We talk how to move the house forward. You cannot be dragging somebody to court, wasting our resources, and you say let there be peace. How can the peace come? You cannot get peace. Even but if you want, if they don't want, let the litigation process continue. But I think the best thing for us to do to move the house forward, because our people are suffering. We have so much, but we own nothing. Just as you started on the note that Jumbo Major has about the richest or thereabout, but our people are languishing. You understand? So for us to move this house forward, let them withdraw all cases they have taken to court. Our monies, some persons fraudulently assessed Jumbo House money, 1.4 billion naira. They have not even spent up to 500 million naira, and they are using the money to fight Jasper because Jasper has been against illegality.
All right, Madam Iprinye, can you tell us what your final words are to members of the Jumbo Major House that you think will bring about peace to the Jumbo Major House?
Okay. Before I say my final words, I would also want to comment on the issue of his professorship.
Okay.
That has been investigated, and then the university that awarded him that professorship has come out. They have even written a letter of attestation. The police has the letter from that university. The money he withdrew, the money he accessed and used that they are also charging him for, the police has also investigated. And by the time he brought out the records of all that was spent, it was even discovered that his own personal funds entered into this. He spent more than what he's being accused of taking. So with all this, what do you think is happening? Some people, just like I said, some people are not telling themselves the truth. People are hiding some people are letting their personal interests to outweigh the collective interest of the house, and it is not good for the house, because like it is rightly said, the house divided amongst itself cannot stand, and that is what is happening. So if we all come together, tell ourselves the truth, we are all brothers, we are brothers and sisters, we are all of this same stock, Jumbo Major House, and we cannot move forward without peace. Peace, they say, supersedes all. In the absence of peace, nothing good will come. So I advise whoever is aggrieved in one way or the other, let us all come together and we'll be able to reach an amicable resolutions. And then if you know you are wrong here, say, okay, yes, this is where I'm wrong, I retrace my steps. And in the end, we will all be better for it, because we are languishing in the midst of so much, and it's not the best for us.
Wow, thank you so much. So you heard it for yourself. A house divided against itself cannot stand. You need to do well to hit the subscribe button and follow us on all our social media handles, because we are going to be bringing about content that will be informative, educative, and entertaining to you. My name again is Moses Faribo, and this is Think Tank TV. Thank you so much for joining us, madam.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. All right. See you again. Bye.